Hey, good afternoon, everybody. So I decided to go ahead and go live now. I have a feeling we are going to be placed under a watch very soon from the Storm Prediction Center as well as the National Weather Service as a cold front begins to slide to the southeast into west central Missouri here over the next couple hours. So I'm already seeing where that cold front wind shift line is located. It is actually right, let's see here, that would be right here. If you guys see that real faint line, that is actually where the wind shift and the cold front is. So right now it's just south of Pleasant Hill, just south of Belton, and just along and ahead of this front is where we are expecting to see thunderstorms begin to blossom, to intensify very, very quickly. I'm already seeing one down here in southwest Cass County. This is just looks like west of Archie. Have a feeling over the next couple scans we're going to see this cell really intensify because the conditions right now south of this cold front are very, very explosive for thunderstorm development. We have very high dew point, temperatures in the upper 80s. We have a cold front coming in. So the big threat with any of these thunderstorms this afternoon is going to be abnormally large hailstone possible. It's very, very cold up at the upper atmosphere. And of course, with these mesocyclones, supercells, they have that potential to grow those hailstones abnormally large, possibly up to the size of softball or better, 4-inch or larger. So that's going to be our main threat today. The tornado threat is not zero, but it is very, very low. So we're just going to have to watch these cells as they develop. Notice we had a little bitty guy over here in eastern Kansas just in the last 10 minutes grew to severe thunderstorm strength. And we now have a severe thunderstorm warning that's going out for Centerville, Mound City, Kansas. And again, it started off very, very small and grew into severe thunderstorm caliber within a very, very short amount of time. So we are also watching, we do have Derek Dunn. He is actually with Nader Boys. He is out and about, and we will be taking a look at his stream from time to time to see if we can see any towers going up along this cold front. And we will be going into him every now and again just to see how his stream is looking, see what the clouds are looking like. So there's Derek Dunn right now. He is west of Butler right now. So he's right here looking at this Mound City cell. See if we can maybe take a look at Derek. He's down here in the bottom right hand corner right now. Of course, once you get over toward Pleasanton, just across the state line, you start to get kind of iffy coverage. So that's for any cell phone carrier. It's really tough when you get to about the state line. But Derek is going to be heading over toward the Mound City cell, watching that. And of course, we're going to be watching right here in Cass County, up toward Harrisonville, Holden, Warrensburg. That's where that cold front is draped at right now. We're going to be watching for any thunderstorm development. And again, weather radios, unfortunately, are not operational today. They had another transmitter go down. So I was in talks with the National Weather Service here about an hour ago. So we are not going to be able to rely on the weather radios. That's another reason why I decided to come on early, so that I can pass on information from the National Weather Service to you guys. Notice that cell in southwest Cass County, just on that last refresh, really picked up its intensity. So I am keeping an eye on, of course, National Weather Service out of Pleasant Hill, checking on any of their updates. And again, so far we are not under any kind of watch here in West Central Missouri, but that's likely going to change here before too long, as the Storm Prediction Center, National Weather Service, they meet together and they will come up with a game plan on who will be under that watch. You notice that cell over by Mound City, already over 2-inch hail probabilities with that little cell that started about 15-20 minutes ago. So these things do intensify fairly quickly. So that's the reason why we want to keep a close eye on this cold front that looks like it is draped from north Johnson County, Missouri, down just south of Pleasant Hill, just north of Harrisonville, and then on down southeast of Paola, and then ride right along down just northwest of Mound City is where that cold front is currently. Hi, Jeff. Hi, Sally. Hi, Jack. Let's take a look at the latest ARRR. It is just now loading up, so we're getting brand new fresh data. And let's go to so this is the CAPE. This is going to be your convective available potential energy. This is the energy that the thunderstorms need. We typically always want to see at least 600 joules per kilogram, since it is a joules per kilogram is a measurement of energy. If you think back to your physics days back in high school or college, 600 is really about the minimum number. We'd like to have right around the 1,000 to 1,200 for severe thunderstorms. And taking a look here in our area, we're up almost 22, 23, 2,400 joules per kilogram. So we have more than ample amount of CAPE to sustain these thunderstorms. Now look just above where where that cold front has already been through. 30. So obviously you know where that cold front is setting up at. And along and ahead of this cold front is where we're likely going to see that explosive thunderstorm development if these thunderstorms can get going. Now, they still have to bust a very, very weak cap that's in place. Remember what a cap is. A cap is like a lid on a pot of boiling water. It keeps all the steam, all the heat down underneath that lid. If you pull the lid off, all that steam and heat rises up to the ceiling in your kitchen. Same thing. If these thunderstorms bust through the cap, they're just like the steam. They'll bubble up and go as high as they can and rapidly develop thunderstorms. So we got plenty of CAPE out there right now. We're just kind of waiting for a few of these cells to pop through that weak cap, and then we'll likely start to see a line of strong to severe thunderstorms depending on when they can get going and when that cold front is actually moving through. Because up in Kansas City, northwest Missouri, northeast Kansas, they had some rain showers up there, and that rain-cooled air is pushing up against that cold front, helping it sag further southeast quicker. So obviously, if you're in Harrisonville, Belton, Lee Summit, Odessa, that front is really close to getting past you. Once that cold front moves past, severe threat is over for the rest of the night. So so some stuff could fire up along it, but you're good once it passes you. Yes, that is exactly right, Jana. Hey, Terry. Good to see you. Let's jump back over here. So again, so far, no severe thunderstorm watch has been issued as of yet. I'm really kind of expecting one to go up at any time. Of course, going to keep a close eye on our sky cams as well. And start to see a few towers going up on the west side. That's going to be north of Butler, near Archie. Our cams there at Dayton kind of picking up a few of these towers out there. But as of right now, no watch. No warnings, and again, these thunderstorms could very well just pop up, intensify right on top of us. So that's one of the reasons, again, why I want to go live a little bit ahead of time. Number one, weather radios are not operational. And number two, we're not going to have much warning when these storms start to pop off. They're going to intensify quickly, likely turn severe very fast. So we want to make sure we're live to keep you guys kind of in the know here. So yeah, it is, but one thing you want to keep in mind too, Justin, that this line is going to, by the time it comes down to you guys, it's going to be really in that prime time of day. All of our area, all of West Central Missouri right now, St. Clair, Lowry City, Osceola, Nevada, El Dorado Springs, as that front continues to sag south, we're going to see more and more thunderstorms erupt along this line. especially since we're sitting right now in the upper 80s. Harrisonville's sitting at 90 degrees right now, and they're just a couple miles away from that cold front. So we are just waiting for these cells to be able to bust the cap. And then once a couple of them start going off, it's kind of like a domino effect. They start feeding on the rain-cooled air, and they just start producing along a line. And those little individual cells, like what's going on down here in Mound City right now, that has a very healthy hail core on it right now, with potential right now for 2.25 inch hail, which is, it's bigger than golf ball. That's about ping pong ball size. So that's our biggest threat with any of these cells today, are going to be for that potential to see some really abnormally large hail with any of these supercells that develop along this cold front. Tornado threat, very, very low, but it's definitely something we're going to be watching. You know, we're in June. We get a supercell thunderstorm. Tornadoes always form typically through a supercell, so we're going to be keeping a close eye. It just down toward the surface, the ingredients that are needed for tornadic supercells near the surface is not there for today. So that's not saying that we can get a robust thunderstorm that can kind of overcome that, but really everything is happening at kind of an elevated area today in the atmosphere. So we're not going to get that low level rotation that's needed for tornadic supercells, but we're getting boogoos of updraft and rotation up at the higher levels. And of course, being as cold as what it is, very cold top thunderstorms, we have that chance to see some very large hail with any of these thunderstorms. Yeah, Kevin, same's going to be with you guys. So again, this is going to continue to push, this cold front push all the way down through southwest Missouri. It's just you guys are going to be a little bit later. It's going to be a little bit later in the afternoon, toward the evening hours, by the time the cold front makes its way down toward Joplin, down toward Springfield, Bolivar, Stockton, Lake of the Ozarks. It's going to be a while for you guys. So notice we've got a couple thunderstorms just popped off up here over Kingsville and Warrensburg, right along that cold front. So again, we're going to be watching these cells. I mean, they just popped up out of nowhere. We'll be watching them for strengthening along that front here over the next few minutes. That Mound City, let's go here. So, of course, we got a large hail core. We do have rotation with that cell at Mound City. However, that is very, very far up in the atmosphere. Looking here at my other program right now, there's nothing really happening for the first couple 3,000 feet above the surface. This is all going on way up in the atmosphere. That's the reason why it has such a strong hail core right now with this cell. So, and again, it's showing 1.25 half-dollar size hail, 60 mile per hour winds as well. So Derek Dunn is on that cell with Nader Boys. There is Derek's location right there. And let's check out his... There is his stream down there in the bottom right-hand corner. That's Derek's stream as he's heading toward the Mound City cell. Looks like that cell is likely going to be, let's see, he has the camera pointed toward the west. So really that cell is going to be to the left of his screen, what it looks like, as he's heading toward Mound City. Well, we'll be watching his stream here and see how that progresses as it moves across the state line. So now that we have a couple thunderstorms developing along that cold front, I'm going to tell you it's going to be really quick before we see a severe thunderstorm watch go up. Maybe they were just waiting for a few thunderstorms to make sure they can bust through that very weak cap. But we're just going to kind of watch and see. Warrensburg sitting at 82 degrees. So the front is right on top of Warrensburg right now, the way it looks. 90 degrees in Harrisonville. 86 for Clinton, I think might be a little bit low right now. Let me check my... So I've got, yeah, so that's pretty close. 87 degrees in Clinton right now. Feels like 90. We have a dew point of 68.5 degrees. Really juicy air out there. Plenty of fuel for any thunderstorms today. That's for sure. No new update from the National Weather Service out of Pleasant Hill as of right now. Kevin, any of these cells have potential to produce up to 60 mile per hour straight line winds with them. They are going to be strong supercells. The hail threat is the biggest threat for today. Some of the data suggesting maximum hail size can be up to softball size, which is about 4-inch hail. But probably more likely we could see ping pong ball to maybe tennis ball size hail. So, you know, right around between the 2 to 3 inch hail with any of these cells, that's going to be probably about the maximum hail size that we could see out of them. But even with ping pong ball size at 1.25 inch, 1.5 inches, 1.75 that size of hail can do a bunch of damage. So we're definitely going to be watching these cells as this cold front moves through the area. Best case scenario right now, if this cold front moves through most of west central Missouri before any thunderstorms flare up. That's best case scenario right now. But I don't know if we can quite get that lucky or not. Well, if these cells continue to do and act the way that they're acting right now, it's going to be isolated. So not everybody is going to get dumped on. But these are going just slow enough, 18, 20 miles per hour. So these cells are going slow enough. So yeah, if you get caught underneath one of these cells, you'll likely pick up a quick 1.25 inch size hail. I'm sorry, 1.25 inches of rain in a very short amount of time. But hopefully they stay kind of scattered and isolated versus one big solid line moving very, very slowly through an area. So that could be our saving grace in that regard. Really about any time from now through probably 6:30, 7 o'clock tonight there in Knob Noster, Jenny. So again, any thunderstorms can build along and ahead of this front. Right here is your front. That is your front. That little light green line right there. That is the cold front, the wind shift line. So along this front and anywhere out here in front of it, you stand a chance of having a pop-up, isolated, strong to severe thunderstorm with large hail being the primary threat. So again, I'm going to be staying live, guys, for probably the next few hours here as we continue to watch these cells develop, if they develop. So I'm going to be on here. If you guys have things you got to do, go and run and get whatever you need to get done. Just have the stream up in your living room. If you're watching on YouTube, leave it up there. Go about doing what you're doing today. And then just kind of check back every now and then. And I'm going to stay here with you guys, especially since weather radios are not working. If it's anything like what happened the last few times, which I'm sure it is, you're not going to get any warnings even on radio through the EAS. So if that happens, you're not going to know whether or not you're under a warning or a watch. If you don't, if you can't hear it on National Weather Service weather radio and you can't hear on the radio while you're driving, then you need to be right here. We'll keep you up to date with all the watches, warnings, and advisories. Yeah, Net, you guys in Kansas City, the severe threat's over for you. Now, the latest data does show some possibility of some showers or thunder showers up in the Kansas City vicinity later on this afternoon, tonight. But, the severe threat is going to be very, very low, if not zero, up there in the Kansas City area now that cold front has passed you. So let's kind of look toward the west out of Dayton. So down in your bottom right hand side, you will see one of our sky cams, and basically the sky cam is sitting about right here, just west of Creighton, Urick, in a little town called Dayton. And it's looking off to the west, southwest. So it's looking at this cell here in Mound City. And of course, you do see some towers going up down there. Let's kind of blow that up just a little bit for you guys. So we do have some towers going up. This is going to be on the other side of the state line, on the Kansas side, near Mound City. And you can definitely see really starting to cloud up. We see some cumulonimbus clouds that are starting to form. So this will be something we'll be watching very closely here over the next hour or two as it crosses over the state line into Bates and Vernon counties. So we did, I did just get a watch. So let's go over here and let me jump over to, we are under a severe thunderstorm watch. I will give you guys the particulars on that. It will be showing up here momentarily on our radar software here momentarily. There's that cold front. Notice over here in eastern Missouri, they've got, there's a pretty healthy line of storms out here from Hannibal down through Columbia, Boonville, and along I-70. That is also along that cold front. That cold front is stretching all the way down through here. So we're waiting for these thunderstorms to start blowing up here in west central Missouri. So here is the watch. We have a severe thunderstorm watch until 10 p.m. tonight. And it's going to include, of course, most in west central Missouri. It's going to include Benton, Bates, Henry, St. Clair, Vernon, Pettis, and Johnson County. Looked like the only county that's not included in west central Missouri in this watch is going to be Cass County. Mainly because right now that cold front is right smack dab in the middle of Cass County right now. So here probably over the next hour or two, the threat for any severe weather for Cass County will likely be to the south of you. But the rest of west central Missouri is going to be under a severe thunderstorm watch. There is the graphic for it. And of course Johnson, Pettis, Benton, Henry, Bates, Vernon, and St. Clair County goes all the way down toward Springfield under this severe thunderstorm watch until 10 p.m. tonight. Tornadic cells, the threat for tornadoes very low for today. So again, we can kind of start seeing these cells beginning to break the cap along that cold front. Now we're starting to see some cells popping up in Pettis County, in which Pettis County you are in that severe thunderstorm watch. So is Henry, so is Bates and Johnson counties. So it looked like there was just a little snafu with the software package. But all of west central Missouri, with the exception of Cass County, is under that severe thunderstorm watch. But we notice these thunderstorms are beginning to stretch down along the I-70 corridor and through Boonville, Warrensburg, northern Pettis County, all the way down into southern Cass. So we're going to continue to watch this line of storms gradually here over the next hour, likely be filled with thunderstorms. Some may be strong to severe, with large hail being the primary threat. The primary threat. Hi, Kayla. Yes, from anytime between now and let's just call it probably 5:30, 6 o'clock this evening here in West Central Missouri. Now we're starting to see that line fill in down here in the eastern Kansas. More thunderstorms popping up. So again, it looks like we are finally at that point where these cells are beginning to break through the cap. So we're just going to have to wait and see, how this line of storms form. And we're going to have to see how fast that they can intensify. And so we've got a good couple hours before we start to see, this line continue to sag to the southeast. It is through Warrensburg right now, through Harrisonville, through Paola, and very slowly sinking to the southeast. Yes, I know, Susie. So we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that's going to include far southwest Bates County. So at 2:37, National Weather Service in Pleasant Hill issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Lynn County, southwestern Bates County in west central Missouri. Severe thunderstorm located near Mound City, moving southeast at 30. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. This is radar indicated. Hail damage in vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roof, siding, and trees. Of course, if you come on late, you can always look right down here at the scroll. And that is automatically kept up to date for me. That will have the list of warnings, watches, and advisories for our counties here in west central Missouri. So if you're coming in late, that's a good place to get caught up on what's going on here in west central Missouri as well. So over here in Lynn County, we've got Derek Dunn with Nader Boys. He is heading toward the Mound City cell. Let's take a look at his stream right now. So he has kind of set himself up to be able to get a good look at this cell. He's on the north side, which hopefully he is moving south right now, which does kind of look like that is the direction that he is moving right now. He is moving south so he can get on the south side of this storm. Really want to be just about right in this area. Would be a great shot to get some good photos of this supercell. Right now, he's basically just in that light rain. The cell is moving fairly slow at 20 miles per hour, so Derek might still have a chance to get to the south side of this cell before it passes him. We'll be checking in with him here just a little bit later. No, Sarah, and again, as soon as this line, this cold front moves through, we're done with the severe threat for the afternoon. So these cells are not moving very fast. So they're only moving 20, 25 miles per hour. So it's going to take just a little bit of time to get them past, but then that'll be over for the rest of the night. So we do have another severe thunderstorm warning. It's going to be for northwest Vernon County. This does not include the town of Nevada. But as you notice, there is a cell. There is going to be what's called a cell convergence. These two will likely, all three of these will likely sync up into one cell. And we still have, a healthy hail core down here just to the south of Mound City right now. So, looks like we have another storm chaser, Ben Williams, just to the east of this cell. And I believe this is about where Derek is wanting to be here over the next 20, 30 minutes with Nader Boys. So we'll be checking in on Derek, see if he can give us some visuals on this Mound City cell. We still have some thunderstorms up here in Pettis County that are continually to develop along that cold front. This is Houstonia, Hughesville, Lamont, Knob Noster. So Knob Noster, you guys are right along that cold front right now. So we'll kind of see how these cells react, being right along the front. And see if they will intensify any in Pettis and eastern Johnson counties. If we kind of expand out a little bit, kind of a weird setup is we've got very strong thunderstorms out here from Boonville all the way up through Hannibal. We have another line of strong cells from Mound City stretching all the way across southeast Kansas. And right in the middle, right here, west central Missouri so far, look like these thunderstorms are struggling just a little bit to get up and bust through that cap to allow them to be able to grow vertically into supercells. So and again, that's one of the reasons why we are going live a little bit early tonight before the severe thunderstorm watch was issued, mainly because weather radios are not operational in west central Missouri this afternoon. They had a transmitter go down, so you will not get any alerts on your weather radios or on your radio dial, such as 95.3, 104.9. We will not be getting any of the emergency action messages that would come across there in a warning situation. So we're here, all of west central Missouri, with the exception of Cass County, under a severe thunderstorm watch through 10 p.m. tonight. Biggest threat going to be large hail, possibly up to the size of tennis balls, can be possible with any of these thunderstorms that blow up this afternoon. Right now, no warnings in west central Missouri with the exception of far southwest Bates County and far northwest Vernon County. with this Mound City cell. So we're going to be keeping a very close eye on that. We've got Derek Dunn. He is with Nader Boys. He is on this Mound City cell. Right now, he's near Prescott. And we've got that up there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen right now. We're going to be going back and forth from Derek. I think he's going to try to get in position down here around Fulton, maybe a little bit further south, so he can get a good view on this cell. Right now, he's just kind of in that, in the Anvil area of the thunderstorm. So if you look toward the top of his, let's go back to his, let me blow it up a little bit for you guys. So up here at the very top of his stream, that is the anvil that is blowing up. An anvil of a supercell is when the clouds bubble up so high that they can't go up anymore. They're almost at the troposphere. And since they have no way to go up, they have to go somewhere, and they go out. And that's what forms the anvil top of supercells. And looks like he's right underneath of the anvil right now, just south of Prescott. And he's going to be heading down over here so he can have a clear shot of that supercell. So we will definitely be going back to Derek, keeping up with him, making sure he's safe, as well as maybe be able to get a couple good pictures from Derek to be able to share with you guys. Yeah, Elizabeth. Yeah, Storm Shield. That's where I got my alert at as well. So I also received received our Henry County Everbridge alert notification. So if anybody is living in Henry County, you can go to www.henrycomo.com. That is our county website. And right there on the homepage, there is a sign up for Everbridge alerts. And you can get notified regardless if the weather radios are down, towers are down. You'll still get those. You'll still get those notifications on your phone, email, totally customizable by you. So this cell up here in northern Pettis County is beginning to strengthen quite a bit. This is going to be up near Houstonia, Houstonia and Hughesville. It is beginning to intensify. We also have another little cell down here near Garden City, right along that cold front right now. And again, best case scenario right now is we get this cold front, which is, let me turn my pen on here. It is right here. If you see that light green line, okay, that's the wind shift line. That is the cold front. It is actually sagging to the southeast. If we're able to get that cold front down past us without having any severe weather is best case scenario. Because once that cold front has passed, then the severe threat goes downhill from there. So taking a look at this Mound City cell right now, it continues to intensify. We have up to 3-inch hail possible with this cell. Actually, Derek Dunn with Nader Boys is in great position right now. Let's jump over to his stream. he is on this Mound City cell. So that's a great view. And he is just on the south side of that cell right now, looking right into the heart of that Mound City cell right now. So obviously you've got, you do have your rain and hail shafts right here. You got a clearing. That's the updraft that is actually feeding into the thunderstorm. You got another little rain shaft out here. If you can see, you probably can't see my cursor too well, probably. But yeah, he's got a great vantage point that he's looking at right now. Derek taking a couple pictures right now. So you see my cursor up here. We talked about this here it's been a couple weeks ago. And this is what's called scud. Okay, pretty much otherwise known as scary looking clouds. And what happens, we have some low top clouds. We get condensation as you go up in the atmosphere. And these clouds actually form right here, kind of close to the surface. And sometimes they can be mistaken for funnel clouds, tornadoes, but they are just condensation clouds that form close to the surface as you have rising air going, because you have that inflow going up into the supercell. That is your inflow tail. So an inflow tail, you have warm moist air that's being pumped into that thunderstorm. And you get condensation with that rapidly rising air. So as you can see this little right here, that little bitty hook right there. You know, you could have somebody that's not experienced call that in as a funnel cloud. But of course, again, this is not connected to the base of the thunderstorm. That's the reason why this is just a scary looking cloud. So great vantage point from Derek. We're going to go ahead and minimize that here just a little bit. We're going to keep the stream up for right now. We're going to take a look at these cells over here in Pettis County again. So again, Houstonia, Shoesville, you guys got a pretty strong cell up in your neck of the woods. Another little cell near Lamont. Another little cell by Garden City. That cold front is now situated from Amsterdam through Archie, Garden City, Lamont, up to Hughesville. And it is continually moving off to the southeast. Yeah, my boy Jack Gaglanone for the Kansas City Royals. 3 for 3 today. Excellent. Excellent. Hi, Cheryl. No, he's fine for right now, but I'm going to tell you probably here, he'll probably need to start to head in probably here in about an hour or so until let this front go ahead and pass. But about an hour, he probably ought to be getting be up at the boat ramp within the hour. So if they're catching fish, let them stay out there a few more minutes. It's okay. These cells are moving very, very slowly too, guys. So This particular cell at Mound City is moving southeast at 22. So it is going to be moving closer to Nevada, but very, very slowly. Put a timestamp on that. We've got Fort Scott 313, Edward 321, Deerfield 323, Nevada at 344. So, we're looking at about 45 minutes just to get that going from here to here. So they're going very, very slowly. Walker 359, Lamar Heights 433, Jericho Spring 448, and Sylvania at 459. So a couple more cells popping up along the cold front. One is in between Creighton and Garden City on Highway 7. Another one just popped up just east of Archie. Looks like the cold front has passed Archie. It has passed Harrisonville, Holden, Warrensburg. So really, you guys are in great shape right now. And again, once this cold front passes through your area, then, the severe threat has passed you also. So, this cold front is just now coming into Henry County right now. So again, best case scenario, we get this cold front through our area here in West Central Missouri, or most of our area, before the thunderstorms break through the cap. That's best case scenario, in which our severe threat will be over for the day and we can move on. No, we're not going to have no naders on the ground right now. We do have one chaser out and about today. That is Derek Dunn with Nader Boys. That's who you see down at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. He is on this Mound City cell that is slowly making its way into Bates and Vernon County right now. And that's what you're seeing down here at the corner of your screen. Blow that up just a little bit. And obviously you can definitely see the hail and the rain shafts. Could be some 50, 60 mile per hour winds associated with this cell as well. Still have a really healthy hail core. Looks like the hail core is likely going to be right here. There's a little bit lighter shade right here that I can see on my big screen right now. That's likely the hail core. Torrential rains with this as well. Easily pick up an inch to an inch and a half of rain with this cell as it moves over your area. Still, this cell over here, Houstonia, Hughesville, still strengthened. Maybe have some pea-sized hail associated with this. It is not moving hardly at all. 16 miles per hour to the east. And it's riding right along that cold front right now. So far, we've been lucky so far. These cells here have been behaving along this cold front. The strongest cell right now looks to be up here in northern Pettis County. It is not warned yet, but I wouldn't be surprised here in the next 5-10 minutes if we don't see a warning come out of that cell. What's the matter? You want to say hi? So my lightning detector wants to say hi. Norman is a full-blooded border collie. Of course, spoiled inside dog. Sometimes when he gets a little jealous as I'm talking to everybody else but him. But he's my lightning detector. He hears thunder and he barks, and I can always tell when lightning's getting close. Ain't that right? All right. Looks like Derek's going to go and reposition himself a little bit. He's getting kind of in the middle of that cell right now. So he's likely going to probably move off to the east and to the south. Try to get a little bit better position. Here's the latest from the National Weather Service I'll share with you guys. Very large hail, damage, and wind gusts will be the main threats. Large hail up the sides of golf balls and damaging wind gusts of 70 miles per hour will be primary hazards. Non-severe thunderstorms likely behind the front late this afternoon into the evening. Warm and humid conditions arrive by the middle of the week, and then more unsettled weather with chances of showers and storms return Thursday into next weekend. So definitely we are keeping a very close eye on this severe thunderstorm watch for all the counties in West Central Missouri except for Cass County. So I thought I would share that with you guys. And again, weather radios, in case you just tuned in, weather radios are not operational here in West Central Missouri today. They had a transmitter go down. That's one of the reasons why we are live right now. And we went live earlier to let you guys know of the severe thunderstorm watch for our area, as well as any warnings, watches, or advisories. So as it stands right now, we just have looks like northwest Vernon County right now is under the gun for this severe thunderstorm. Could be producing up to 2-inch hail, which is about ping pong ball size. It is moving very, very slowly southeast at 22 miles per hour. Eventually, this is going to be heading into More populated areas such as Nevada, Moundville, Walker. We'll put a little timestamp on that. And looks like it is going to be affecting Fort Scott at 319, Moundville 341, Nevada at 347. So still another, 40 minutes or so, 45 minutes before it hits Nevada. If it retains the intensity, which there's no reason why it shouldn't. Walker at 403 and Harwood at 415. Still have a strong cell up here in northeast Pettis County. Right along the front. This is just east of Hughesville. It's going to be affecting Longwood, Postal, Shackleford Crossing. Here, actually it's ongoing right now. Small hail core with it. Maybe some pea-sized hail. It's moving off to the east-southeast. So it will stay north and east of Sedalia proper. We're watching these cells here now entering northwest Henry County near Creighton, just east of Adrian, just northwest of Urick, and they will slowly continue their southerly approach through Henry County. Right now, no warnings within this stretch between Sedalia and Butler. That's great news right now. So the storms here in Bates, Henry, Pettis, Johnson counties, they're just having a hard time busting through a very weak cap in which a lot of the data was suggesting they were going to break through it about an hour ago. So this is very good news because we do not need baseball-sized hail anywhere around Henry County right now, or west central Missouri for that matter. But we still have a very strong cell down here near Fort Scott that's going to be crossing into parts of Vernon and southwest Bates County. Up to 2-inch hail right now, ping pong ball size hail. And of course that line goes all the way down into Oklahoma. And then the other half of the line stretches from just northeast of Sedalia all the way up south of Hannibal into Illinois. But looked like the weakest segment of it is right through west central Missouri, and that is just fabulous news right now. Yes, Nixie, the storm chasers like Derek, they go into the cell to make sure that that the weather behaves. So a lot of pressure on you right now, Derek. If you're listening, pressure's on you. You got to keep those cells to behave. So this cell up here just south of Blairstown, just north of Urick right now. Probably some pea-sized hail associated with this one as well, as it continues to show some signs of strengthening a little bit right now. Also, the one just to the east of Adrian is also showing some signs of strengthening as well as it moves into Henry County and northeast Bates County right now. We still have that strong storm up here in northeast Pettis County. Looked like it kind of stayed about the same intensity over the last 15-20 minutes, so that's good news. No, I don't think these storms are going to break up. If anything, they're going to intensify. As long as it's along that cold front and south. They're too good of conditions down there when we have dew points near 70, air temperatures in the upper 80s, near 90 degrees. Plenty of fuel for the fire right now. We do have this thing is still 26 miles per hour, very, very slowly moving off to the east southeast. So we will likely see at least a special weather statement likely come out on this cell, possibly in northwest Henry County and northeast Bates County. Looks like it is picking up possibility of maximum hail size up to the size of quarters now. So it's definitely strengthening right now. And again, I would not be surprised if we see a special weather statement on either one of these two cells as they move into actually eastern Bates County and into Henry County. Also, want to throw out there, make sure there's going to be a lot of lightning associated with these cells as well, guys, and torrential downpours of rain. So, again, we could be setting ourselves up for a couple power outages in the area. So make sure you're prepared for that. Make sure you have your cell phone charged up. Make sure you have, typically we would make sure that you have battery backup in your weather radios, but the weather radios are not working here in West Central Missouri again. So, just kind of make sure that you have plans in place. We've got a great shot from Derek right now. Hopefully he can keep it on that here for a second. Take a look at that storm structure. That is beautiful supercell structure right there. There's your updraft. It's slanted right now. That's your updraft. This is where the inflow is going to be pushing into that cell in Mound City. Beautiful storm structure. Oh, I don't know where he's going, but he's moving. I think he's grabbing his camera. But yeah, we've got beautiful storm structure right now. You have a slanted updraft base. You got the hail falling right over here. If you see my cursor on the right side, you have inflow moving into that cell right through here. And of course, you got the anvil top up here on top. So beautiful storm structure there from Derek Dunn and Nader Boys. Good job on that, Derek. All right, so we do have a new special weather statement let you guys know about. And, of course, it's over what we just talked about momentarily ago. We do have now a special weather statement for northeast Bates County, northwest Henry County. It does include the town of Clinton. So these cells just south of Blairstown looks like Ballard, Lucas, New Piper, Urick, Hartwell, Norris, Petersburg. You guys are going to be under the gun. We do have a couple significant hail cores. One just south of Blairstown, another one near Aaron, which is just south of Settled Ford Conservation Area. Let's put a timestamp on that. So we've got Hartwell 317, Clinton at 338. Deepwater 347, Brownington 354, Cole 359, Tightwad 408, Racket at 415. We could see these cells possibly do a cell convergence as well, but we'll be watching them very closely. Hi, Mark. So a lot of those questions I think I just answered with that storm track that you guys had out there. So, of course, Derek Dunn with Nader Boys got a fantastic view of supercell structure. You're seeing down in your bottom right-hand side of the screen. Robin is from Aaron. She had some small hail in Aaron, but that is up here in Bates County, right there. She had some small hail up here in Aaron. And again, if anybody gets any pictures of the hail when it's safe, if you want to compare them to, say, maybe a quarter or a marble, if you have something close by, or even a yardstick or a tape ruler, if you just want to put that hail right next to it so we have a better idea what size it is, shoot that picture over to me and I'll get it sent over to the National Weather Service. Then that really helps these guys out a lot. So it looks like that cell is just about out of Pettis County. It's going to be moving over toward Pilot Grove, Otterville, and then on over a little closer to I-70, Boonville, and Windsor Place. So right now we've got a couple strong cells. Northeast Bates County, Northwest Henry County. They both of them have a hail core on them right now. We are under a special weather statement for the next 30 minutes on this. But right now, up to 40, maybe 50 mile an hour wind gusts, maybe some pea-sized hail. But we're going to continue to watch these two cells for any strengthening as they are riding right along that cold front. Right here is that cold front. If you guys see that light green line right here. So that cold front stretches all the way across just like that. That is where the cold front is. Along and just ahead of that cold front is where we can expect to see any possibly strong to severe thunderstorms. Thanks for that report too, Robin. I appreciate that. Wow. 4 for 4. Jack Caglanone for the Kansas City Royals. 4 for 4. He's busting out of his shell now, guys. So again, a big shout out to... Okay, so now we're under a severe thunderstorm warning now, guys. So this cell has intensified. You notice this little light blue area right here? So this cell is intensifying. So let's go ahead and hear what it says. The National Weather Service in Pleasant Hill has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Cass County, central Henry County, northeastern Bates County, all in west central Missouri. A severe thunderstorm was located 7 miles southwest of Urich or 15 miles southeast of Garden City, moving east at 30. 60 mile an hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail. So Clinton, Erie, Calhoun, Deepwater, Brownington, Ballard, Hartwell, Ladue, and Truman Lake are under the gun. So at this time, Cheryl, I would make sure that you tell Gary, go ahead and start bringing it in and from the lake. So he has about probably around 35, 45 minutes before it's over his area there at Bucksaw. But make sure he has plenty of time to get into the boat ramp and get things loaded up before this cell enters into Bucksaw. So again, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for central Henry as well as northeastern Bates County right now. The cell continues to intensify. Look like we have a 3-inch marker now. Maximum hail size is now up to 3-inch. So probability of hail, 100%. The probability of having severe hail hitting the ground is nearly 90%. So if you're in New Piper, Delmar, Lucas, and then of course on down toward Ladue, Hartwell, you guys need to, if you have cars outside, you might want to put some pool noodles on top of it or bring it underneath the carport or into the garage. So very large hail possible with this cell moving into Henry County right now. So Mission will classify the storm as being strong to severe. Either 58 mile per hour winds or greater, 1-inch hail, which is quarter size or larger, and or the potential of a tornado. That's what classifies a severe thunderstorm. Take a look at this cell. And it is just now starting to come into Vernon County, this Mountain City, Fort Scott storm. It has a history of producing 1 to 1.5 inch hail. It is just now getting across the state line heading into Vernon County. That cell that was up here in Pettis County has now moved on off to the east near Pilot Grove, eventually over toward Boonville and Boone County. Right now, Sedalia, you look to be just north of that cold front right now. So the biggest severe threat has now passed you in Sedalia. So if you're Sedalia or north in Pettis County, if you're in Warrensburg, Holden, Knob Noster, and north, your severe threat is pretty much over for the night. So just to let you guys know, if you're behind this line, behind this cold front, the severe threat goes down to near zero. So bubble wrap those autos. So this is really almost exactly what we were kind of expecting. As you notice that most of these cells are supercells, discrete, kind of isolated, versus one big solid line of rain and thunderstorms. That's what we were expecting. And because these cells are discrete, they're supercells, that's why we have that threat for very large hail. And this cell continues to intensify here moving into Henry County right now. Piper, New Piper, Delmar. This is a very intense hail core right now. I'm going to switch So yeah, very, very large. We're getting at least quarter up to ping pong ball size. And I tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised with that latest update if we don't possibly get some 3.5 to 4 inch returns on radar. That's what I'm picking up right here. I'm picking up 4-inch hail signal fires right now. So and again, I've got several programs that I watch at the same time. I look for rotational tracks that can signify very strong hail cores. This is what I'm looking at right here to kind of show you guys. So there is Ballard, and there is a rotational track right here, kind of signifying very large hail just to the southeast of Ballard right now. So I've got a few programs that I watch at the same time. So if I'm not talking, I'm looking. So still very strong hail core right now. And again, this is going to be New Piper, Piper, Del Mar. You guys are in the path. We've got a very, boy, this kind of odd. So pretty much what they're doing, they put a very large special weather statement. Let's read what it says. Winds up to 40 miles per hour, half-inch hail. Impact Clinton, Uri, Calhoun, Creighton, Blairstown, Ballard, Hartwell, Ladue. So this is a very large special weather statement that they just issued along with a severe thunderstorm warning for ping pong ball size hail and 60 mile per hour winds. So I think what they're trying to do is catch all of these cells right now in a special weather statement. And then the strongest cell that is now moving into Henry County with a very strong hail core, severe thunderstorm warning for that particular cell. So right now, looks like Henry County, far eastern Bates County, right now is the only severe thunderstorm warning so far right here in west central Missouri. However, we'll likely see another one down here for Vernon County once this cell makes its final approach across the state line into Vernon County. But right now, we're kind of concentrated on this particular cell right here in Henry County. Strong winds. Let's see here. We've got strong winds in a Garland area. Let's take a look at. So yeah, we've got. Of course, you know we do have a little rotation down near Johnstown. It is elevated. It's off the surface. But you have to have that strong rotation and updrafts, kind of like we seen on Derek Dunn from Nader Boys. He's seen that mesocyclone, that supercell structure. You have to have that for large hail, and that's exactly what we're seeing down here near Johnstown. We are seeing some very broad rotation up above the surface, up 5,000-10,000 feet, and that's where that large hail is building and then falling down to the surface. And then we also have some look like probably some pretty good winds ongoing just ahead of it, just northwest of Germantown. This is going to be, let's see here, just northwest of Germantown, east of Johnstown. That is likely the center of the hail core as well. Take a look here. So yeah, very, very, this is very large hail, guys. So just southeast of Piper right now. We could very well be approaching that 2.5 inch in diameter, which is going to be almost tennis ball size. Now this might not be reaching the ground, but it is falling. That size hail is falling through the clouds, in which the radar is picking that up. So we do also have a looks like you will see a little icon. It's the TVS marker, and that's a it pretty much means a tornado vortex signature. But the reason behind that, I believe, is because of that very intense circulation down here near Germantown that's supporting these very, very large hailstones. Now this is why I keep a very close eye on multiple programs right now, because if this becomes strong enough to bring that rotation closer to the surface, you could get, number one, some very strong straight line winds in excess of 75 miles per hour, and maybe even a spin up tornado. So, and again, the threat is very, very low for today. But when you see such an intense supercell by itself producing up to 3-inch hail, it's a powerhouse. So we want to make sure we keep a very close eye on this cell here over the next few minutes. So I am keeping a very close eye as well with the National Weather Service. It does, Susie. So it will go into warmer air as it falls. If the updraft is strong enough, it will shove it right back up to 18,000 feet above our heads and develop another layer of ice. Eventually it becomes... Well, and I tell you what, guys, I'm really looking at this near Germantown right now. And that is a very, very small couplet right now. If you are along H between Piper, Germantown, Montrose Lake, Ladue, if you guys live out in this area right now, I would probably go ahead and go to the lowest portion of your house, go to the center of your house right now. When we start talking a very, very tight rotation, like what we're seeing right now, there just north of Germantown, most of the time your hail signatures for velocity radar is broader. You have a little bit broader of a circulation. This is very, very tight rotation. Let me check a little closer to the surface. We are still getting rotation near the surface with base velocity as well. So I'm waiting for the next refresh of velocity radar for this area here. Okay, so it has weakened considerably, but we're still going to be paying very close attention to this. Again, down lower to the surface, the ingredients just aren't quite there for any lower level circulation, but that really caught my eye right there. Regardless, there's some very strong winds associated with this cell, into 30, 40 mile an hour straight line winds. And then, of course, that potential to see, anywhere between quarter to ping pong ball size hail. And it is heading toward the east very slowly at 22 miles per hour. So let's time this out here real quick. And then we'll see how high up in the atmosphere that hail is. Oh, heck, I didn't want to do that. Now, there's only one populated area that it picks up. So, Clinton, right around the 3:55, so about 20 minutes, when the strongest part of that hail core is set to arrive. So, that is actually, let's see here, Ladue, probably here in about another 5-8 minutes. And then, of course, right along 18 Highway, K Highway as well. They're off of 18 that heads over toward Germantown. Hey, Alex. Yes, I remember you guys. Ran into a family. Actually, the mom come from California. And that last event that we went through, the severe event, was the first, back on the 19th. That was the first tornado that they had been through. So, somebody had mentioned our stream, invited them over to the stream, and they were very thankful. So, that's awesome. Got hail in Ladue. So that cell's still making a very slow progress into Vernon County. We've got about the first third of that cell in Vernon County right now. And again, it's going so slow, 18 miles per hour. So the hail core is still yet to cross the state line with that cell down in the Mountain City, Fort Scott area. And then we have another strong cell right here. All of it is in Henry County right now. We've got potential for some hail down around the Montrose Lake, Ladue, RA, down K. So that is moving off to the east very slowly as well, about 22 miles per hour. Raymond, if you are by any chance able to get a picture of that hail, send it to me on Facebook. That would be incredible, my friend. Sparrowfoot area, Deepwater, Brownington, Gaines, along 7 Highway down toward Cole. I would definitely be prepared to see some hail as this continues to move off to the east, and it sagged just a little bit to the south as well. Pea-sized hail north of Ladue. Thank you, Deanna. So just north of Ladue, pea-sized hail. So far on the pictures that I've been receiving, the largest hailstone has been about 3/4 of an inch that actually hit the ground. And that was over here just north of Germantown. So not quite 1-inch hail north of Germantown. That's been the largest that I have seen that anybody has sent to me anyway. But and again, if anybody has a picture, if they want to go to Subby's Weather Talk Facebook group and go ahead and post that picture in a direct message to me, or even on our page, that would be much appreciated, and I can get that. That was in, so Cameron had sent me one that was bigger. That was quarter-size hail. I'm going to send that on. Okay, so you sent that. Let me see. You just sent Dustin. I don't see a picture on that. I don't see any new pictures on our site yet. So if anybody has pictures, they can go to Subby's Weather Talk Facebook page, send me a direct message, or share it on our page. I'm passing along some of these pictures. So the hail core is getting a little bit larger. Actually up to 2-inch size. Looks like it's right just south of Ladue is where the strongest hail core returns are coming. And of course, it's going to be moving off to the east. Sparrowfoot area, Deepwater, Brownington, Gaines, Cole. They will be heading your direction. I am passing along all the pictures to the National Weather Service. Thank you guys so much. They are very appreciative of that. There was also a lot of people waiting to come into Subby's Weather Group room. So you guys have now been accepted into our room. So southwest Vernon County, down around Brenall, you guys have been included into a severe thunderstorm warning for 60 miles per hour winds and 2-inch lime-size hail. And damage threat considerable down around the Bernal, that's southwest Vernon County. And really, along that cold front, the only cell that's right now that is along that cold front is smack dab in the center of Henry County right now. So a very isolated supercell now here in central part of Henry County. Looks like Clinton, you guys are going to escape the worst of this. Deepwater, Brownington, Gaines, of course, down toward the hard-hit areas of Mount Zion, Finey. You guys are going to be under the gun for the potential of large hail here over the next 30 to 45 minutes as this continues to move off to the east. Hi, RB. Will I be on tonight? So once this cold front passes, west central Missouri is going to likely be in a clear. Okay? So I likely won't be going live on our local platforms. But as this cold front continues to move down toward the Springfield area, I will likely be on the Midwest Mezzo YouTube page, and I'll put that here in the that is our YouTube channel. I just posted in chat. Hopefully you can see that. I will likely be going live. We're going to have maybe another storm chaser or two down in that area. So again, across west central Missouri, we've been very, very fortunate so far, with the exception of this one cell here in Bates and Henry County that moved through. The rest of the area has remained relatively quiet, so that is great news. We still have another, looks like 10 minutes left. So thank you for that report. If you guys notice, hail up to 2-inch lime-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. They upped that because of our picture that was sent in from a viewer of 2-inch hail. So thank you so much for sending that in. This is how we get warnings out in front of people, by your all's reports and your pictures that you send to me. So thank you very much for doing that. Raymond sent this into me. I'll let you guys see it. Pretty impressive. Two to 2.5-inch hailstone that has fallen. So very impressive. Very impressive. And this was near Germantown. So sent that picture into the National Weather Service. They upped the severe thunderstorm warning to 2-inch lime-sized hail. Yeah, Cozy Corners by Sparrowfoot. Yeah, and it looked like that might just... Here is Sparrowfoot right here. Here is the strongest... Here's the campground, if you know where the campground's at. So, they're deep water. Hail core is moving east and dropping south just a little bit. So, yeah, right around Sparrowfoot Campground, Cozy Corners. I got a buddy that lives right down in this area next to the lake. Deepwater, Brownington, Gaines. You guys are kind of in the path of this hail core right now. It's kind of fluctuating in intensity a little bit. Kind of goes up and then it comes back down again, but it's a supercell. It has plenty of energy to work with. I don't expect this really to weaken much as it continues its easterly approach, unless if the cold front outruns it. If the cold front outruns it, it chokes on itself and it kind of breathes in some of that cooler air and it lowers the intensity. But right now, this is a very strong supercell right now. see where Joplin and Kansas City, so he's coming up on 49. Looking at our chaser, Derek Dunn, he has been down here in this area. I'd say that's him right here. So Derek is down here on 49. Looks like he is going to kind of turn and face this severe thunderstorm warning back off to his west. Let's take a peek at his screen here real quick. This is Derek Dunn with Nader Boys. He is actually facing west toward this supercell, and you can kind of see where the rain and hail shafts are off into the distance here. So he is right on the corner of 49 Highway there at Sheldon. So good job as far as getting yourself situated in front of that storm there, Derek. Good job today. He had some incredible pictures of of the supercell down here. Great structure. That was fantastic. So it looks like the hail core is shrinking just a little bit, but again, it's been cycling over about the last 30 minutes or so. It gets stronger and then it gets weaker. We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning that is going out for this same cell. You notice right here, guys, you see that 2-inch with that in that square. When you click on that 2-inch hail, they put Ladue, Henry, emergency management, relayed photo, measured hail between 2 and 2.5 inches. So that's why we do what we do, to get pictures and information to the National Weather Service so that they can actually produce this next severe thunderstorm warning. Let's read what it says. Still potential of 2-inch lime-size hail for southeastern Henry County in west central Missouri at 3:55. Severe thunderstorm was located over Deepwater or near Clinton, moving east at 35. 2-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Emergency management reported 2-inch hail near Ladue at 3:49. Deepwater, Brownington, Tightwad, and Truman Lake are affected. So again, this is for this same cell we've been watching. You bet, Frugal Rock. Makes good for fishing. I don't know if 2-inch hail will be good for fishing if you're in the boat. Woo! So again, this is really the only cell outside of this severe thunderstorm warning we have for southwest Vernon County and down here around really the Bernal. Actually, most of it is going to slide off just to the south of Vernon County. But you still have another 34 minutes on that severe thunderstorm warning for southwest Vernon County. And then really that's it for west central Missouri outside of this lone renegade supercell right smack dab in the middle of Henry County. Deepwater, Sparrowfoot Campground, Brownington. You guys are kind of in the path of this hail core. It has shrunk, which is great news, but it has cycled over the last 30 minutes or so. So we could see another hail core develop on this cell. So just be prepared for some, at least some, nickel to quarter size hail, possibly up to 2-inch hail associated with this cell. Yeah, sun's back in Clinton. It's amazing. This is, we very, very lucky so far, knock on wood. So, with all the ingredients, the dew point, the temperature, we have a cold front moving through, relatively strong cold front. And for us only to have just a few severe thunderstorm warnings from this is, I consider that a big, big win right now. So I did see a couple people mention these right here. So let me bring this picture over that Connie sent in. I did have a couple inquiries on this. So first off, thank you, Connie, for sharing this with us. What you're seeing right here is mammatus clouds, and they look like puffy cotton balls that are extending down. Mammatus clouds are formed by rain-cooled air. Now, somebody had asked me, well, does this mean there's hail in these? Well, typically, you will see mammatus clouds around, after, or before a hailstorm because the hail cools the upper levels of the atmosphere to create these little pockets of like cotton that extend down from the clouds. So yeah, typically when you see mammatus clouds means that there is hail that has happened somewhere around you to produce these mammatus clouds. So thanks so much, Connie, for sharing that photo with us. There are some really nice photos out there that people have shared. So thank you guys. And for those of you who might be watching that had posted questions in our group, I know I've had about 9 so far. Like, what's the weather supposed to be on July 5th, June 22nd, June 15th? I'll get to all that after we get done with this severe threat for tonight. I'll come back and maybe tomorrow we can go over some of those dates. But I'm kind of focused right now on these severe thunderstorms that are here in west central Missouri for right now. And then we'll come back and I'll make sure to get caught up on those questions that you guys have asked here over the last 30-45 minutes. Just loaded the boats. Excellent. You bet, Austin. My pleasure. So we still have a healthy hail core. Looked like it's right over Deepwater, coming across Sparrowfoot Campground, the South Grand right now. So you guys are likely seeing some hail. From the signatures here, I don't know if we have quarter size hail right now. Let's take a look at, yeah, we might. We have a small core of quarter size hail. Looks like right over Deepwater right now. Of course, it's going to be moving off to the east. A little bit of a southerly draw to it. So, you know, those in Deepwater, Brownington, Gaines, look like maybe a little bit stronger of a hail core, return right near Brownington. So, again, if anybody has any pictures, feel free to shoot them over to us. Direct message me or share it on our page at Subby's Weather Talk Facebook group. I'd love to see them and share those along with the National Weather Service. P to nickel size. Thanks, Sean. Where are you at? Let me know your location, Sean, so I can plot it. No hail, but heavy rain at Sparrowfoot. Okay. Thanks for the report. Sparrowfoot Campground is right here. Here is Deepwater. Brownington is right here. So again, we still have another 42 minutes left on this severe thunderstorm warning, mainly because it is moving ever so slow at 24 miles per hour. In Deepwater. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate that. So P to nickel size hail in Deepwater, which it's hail in Brownington right now. Hi, RB. Will we have to take shelter? No. You know, the biggest threat, as we talked about pretty much all day, is going to be for that potential of very large hail. So far, we have had reports of almost up to 2.5-inch size hail near Germantown, Ladue area, right in that general vicinity. Seen several reports of quarter, if not maybe ping pong ball size near on RA Highway, which runs north and south, really from 18 Highway into Montrose. So had some pictures that I sent to National Weather Service of that as well. But you know, here over the last few runs, this cell has shrunk. So kind of makes me think that the cold front is now kind of overrunning this cell, because this cell is moving so slow. The cold front is now maybe starting to play a part in weakening this cell just a little bit. So that can be good news too. Let's take a look at, let's go like the last 21 frames. Let's put this in motion. So you notice it really strengthened here over Montrose, Germantown, and notice how it's kind of shrinking up inside just a little bit. We're not getting those real strong hail returns on radar. So it could be for the fact that that cold front may be outrunning that cell just a little bit. Of course, we're going to be watching that very closely. Of course, this cell down here, what we call the Fort Scott Moundville cell, looked like it's just clipping the far southwest corner of Vernon County. Looks like it's going to stay well south of Nevada, Moundville, Walker area. And then really the only other cell here in west central Missouri is this one down here in southeast Henry County. And of course, it's going to be going across some areas that were hit back on the 19th with EF1 tornadoes. We had tornado damage down around Mount Zion, Finey, all along Z Highway, ZZ Highway, down around Fox Run in St. Clair County. So, you know, we really don't need any more severe weather down in that area. We don't need any more power outages either. So, you know, hopefully this cell continues to weaken here over the next few minutes. James Farley lake effect. Oh, now don't get started on that. I bet, Jeff. He said looking like it's going to go south to Snyder's Corner. Jeff lived down off the Z Highway. He got the mowing done enough and shower taken. 3 days with no shower or power taught him a thing or two. So, of course, Jeff was right down in the heart of all that tornado damage down along Z Highway. So, they're still recovering down there. We still have groups down there that are cutting. So, definitely understand that. So another 37 minutes left on this severe thunderstorm warning. I have a feeling, unless this thing really cycles through on the next scan, there's a good chance that they might allow this to expire. I don't think it's going to extend into Benton County toward Warsaw area. We're going to have to keep an eye on it, but it continues to weaken every refresh. So I think that cold front has just passed far enough to the south of this cell that it's starting to kind of choke it off just a little bit. And that's one of the reasons why it's beginning to weaken just a little bit. So it looks like that hail core continues to shrink up just a little bit as well. So yeah, I've got the sun blaring in the window right now here in Clinton. So it looked like we had put that in motion again. You can see right where our reports of the large hail came in over the last 45 minutes or so. And notice how it just continues to weaken and shrink in size. So I really think they're going to allow this to expire maybe a little bit early than 35 minutes from now. You bet, Jeff. My pleasure, buddy. Thanks for the kind words. Tricia said, yes, rain and Sonic Ice size. Everybody know what size Sonic Ice is. That's a good reference. I don't know, what was that last summer? I think it was last summer when, one of the biggest fads was getting an ice maker that made Sonic Ice. We actually have an ice maker down at the emergency management office, but it produces like cubes. But this ice maker made Sonic Ice, and it was like every place was sold out of it because everybody wanted that Sonic Ice. So again, we're going to, after this cell weakens and dies out, if we don't see any other development down here towards St. Clair County, one thing we have to keep in mind that I'm watching pretty closely is going to be for H. Row Bartle Scout Reservation, as we have a group of Clinton boys down there right now down at camp. So keeping a close eye on that area. They knew about the threat for seeing some stronger thunderstorms today, but luckily St. Clair County has escaped just about all of it so far. So that cold front is kind of hard to see, but it's still out there, and it's going across. Well, I'll tell you what, let's see if we can make it a little easier. See if we can find a wind shift line. So yeah, so we have northwest winds right here in Clinton. Northwest winds right now here in Warsaw. You see these little arrows. And then if you go a little bit further south, you notice down here Carthage, Springfield, they still have southerly breezes that are coming up. So that cold front is centered about right down through here right now. See if we can see any good coverage. So here's what we see here looking off to the south right now. Here in Henry County from downtown Clinton Square. Looking off to the south. And of course we have sunshine right here in town. You look off to the south and you can see where that cell is just to the south of Clinton. Down around the, looks like right now, down around south of the Tightwad. Looks like right around Mount Zion, Finey, Fox Run area. But right now, it doesn't even look like there's a hail core. So definitely weakening, which is great news. You bet, Thomas. Hi, Elijah. It's been raining. Yeah, it has been raining a lot. It has. So I really think that because of this, if you see this wind shift line, see where these arrows are, we got northwest wind that's feeding into these cells that's causing them to weaken just a little bit. So right now I'm not even seeing a hail core down here in southeast corner of Henry County. So I'm going to tell you, we got 29 minutes left on this severe thunderstorm warning, but I'd say it's likely going to be going off the board pretty quick unless this thing does something and cycles back around. But right now, it does not look very impressive at all. So good. Frilly Farmhouse, they just had some rain showers. So, yeah, luckily it did begin to really weaken as it got just south of Clinton. Really started to weaken as it pushed off to the east and to the south. So that's great news. I really did not want to have to do a bunch of hail reports through emergency management come to start my Monday off with. So that's great news. So looking out ahead just a little bit, we've got, tomorrow. Now, you guys notice we got these north winds right now. Now, for those of you that might not know, but Canada is having some of the biggest fires in North America it's ever seen up there. It's been dry. I think some of them have been deliberately set. Some of them were lightning strikes. But because that wind now is coming out of the north, we are going to notice that haziness as we go overnight into tomorrow morning, because we're going to have those north winds. We're going to be cooling down, into the upper 50s tonight with those north winds. and we're going to see that haziness when we wake up in the morning. The air quality is not going to be all that hot in the morning, but we are going to see the southwest wind pick up in the mid-morning time frame. So once that happens, we get the wind coming back out of the southwest, and then that's going to kind of clear our air from that hazy, smoky-filled sky. So keep that in mind in the morning, especially if you have any bronchitis or asthma issues. In the morning might be kind of rough. Make sure you take your inhaler to work. For the first few hours, it's going to be kind of ucky out there in the morning. But then again, it's going to clear up. We're going to get those southwest winds. It's going to clear the sky by late morning tomorrow. So just kind of give you guys a heads up on that. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, most of Thursday look great. Highs in the 80s, plenty of sunshine. It's gonna feel like early summer come next week. We're gonna start to get that humidity build back up. Our dew points are gonna go up. We do have kind of I call it a kind of a surprise system, because it really just kind of came into play here over the last about 48, 72 hours. But it does look like there's going to be a storm system that's going to be moving in on Thursday from the Pacific. So it's going to get caught up in that in a ridge. If you guys, let me see if I can draw it. Now, this is not what's going on now, but I'll tell you what, let's do this. I wish I had a piece of paper I'd show you. So move this over. So if we have a high pressure system, there's our high. Winds go clockwise around a high. Oh my gosh, my drawing's horrible. Well, what's happening is that when it's high pressure, you have sinking air. When you have sinking air, it means you got nice weather, and that's what we're going to have Monday, Tuesday, and most of Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and most of Thursday. Now, what's happening, there's going to be a storm system up here, okay? And it's going to get caught up into this flow, and it's going to circulate around here. And it's going to provide a focus for showers and thunderstorms Thursday through the weekend now. So we was really hoping to get 5 days in a row of sunshine. But unfortunately, we're going to have to deal with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, most of Thursday being dry. And then the chance for showers and thunderstorms. We are watching for that potential to see some stronger thunderstorms as well for the weekend. So we'll have to watch that really closely. We're going back to that cell now, heading into Benton County, and look at that. It's almost gone. It's almost non-existent anymore. So definitely weakening along that cold front, which is great news. We don't have to worry about that one. And of course, this cell down here that prompted the severe thunderstorm warning for southwest Vernon County. Those of you down in Bernal and down here in rural southwest Vernon County, down around Garland, you guys are just getting some moderate rainfall right now, maybe some pea-sized hail, but the strongest part of this cell is going to be down to your south right now. So really, we're in really good shape. They went ahead and allowed that severe thunderstorm warning to expire early, so that's also great news. Oh, Greg, thank you, buddy. Thanks for the super sticker. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support. Man, you guys, it's so dang humbling when time and time again you guys continue to support our group, our room. I feed this right back into our group by doing, remember we have a summer promotion. You go to our website, subbiesweathertalk.com, click on Subby Swag, and Tyler over at O3 Custom Engravings, he is a Men in Blue over at Bates County Sheriff's Department. Their side gig, they make screen printing hats, shirts, sweatshirts. We got coolie cups. We have mugs and tumblers. with Subby's Weather Talk on it. All through the summer, if I see you in public with the Subby's Weather Talk hat on, or say a Subby's Weather Talk shirt, I keep prizes in my wallet at all times. And some of these prizes are going to be even more in value than what you spend on a hat or a shirt or whatever you might get. So if I see you in public, I'm going to come up, we're going to grab a picture, and then you're going to win a prize if I see you out in public. And I'm all across West Central Missouri, many days a week. So, make sure if you do get a shirt or a hat, make sure you wear it in public. You never know when you might come up and see me, and you'll win a prize. So, we've sold a lot of swag here over the last couple months. You guys have supported the room so much, and I'm so thankful for that. Thank you guys so much. Raymore? No, you're good up in Cass County, man. You're good. You are good up in Cass County. Actually, if you're in Cass, Bates, Henry, Pettis, Johnson, you guys are done with the severe threat for the night. You guys can jump off the stream and enjoy the cooler weather that's coming in for this evening. Those in St. Clair, Benton counties, you might hold off for just a little bit, but it's looking like you're going to be in the all clear as well. Vernon County, you still have that sliver down in southwest Vernon County. This is going to be down around the Bernal, Garland area. You guys are getting some moderate rain, some brisk winds up to 50 miles per hour. But here over the next 30 minutes, you guys are going to be in the clear as well. So I do believe we have survived yet another potential severe outbreak is what most of the data was suggesting. And that's the reason why about the last 12 or 18 hours before the event, you pretty much got to throw the models out the window. You start doing nowcasting, meaning that you take a look at any storms that fire up. You see how it reacts with the atmosphere, with the environment that it is trying to grow in, and you got to play it by ear at that point in time. So luckily it did not turn into a big severe event. We've had a few reports of hail up to 2.5 inch near Germantown. We had 1.5 inch just north of Germantown. We also had 1 inch hail along RA here in Henry County. So we did have a few reports of some large hail, but thankfully I think we made through this with just a very minor event. Wind is intensifying just east of Finey. Yeah, and where you guys are at right here, that thunderstorm has rapidly decreased in intensity. So you're likely getting some of that outflow winds from that thunderstorm, what's left of it. Because, what I always tell kids and adults alike when we talk about a severe thunderstorm is it pretty much has its own set of lungs to survive. It breathes in all the warm, moist air in the south, and that's what fuels it. And then it expels through the backside of the storm the rain-cooled air, the air that had already got all the energy out it could, and then it blows it out through the backside of it. So this was such an intense thunderstorm that it weakened so fast that it just let loose of all the strength that it had, and you're getting some of those outflow winds as that cell is weakening. So you can probably expect 30, 35, maybe even up to 40 mile per hour winds on the backside of this thunderstorm as it continues to weaken here over the next 10, 15 minutes. It moved fast through Clinton, had about a 15-minute intermission at our party. Good. So, like I said, these storms act kind of like what we thought they were going to when we had our roundtable on Friday night. It was going to be more isolated, discrete cells, but they could produce some very large hail. Where we became very lucky at was the fact that we didn't get very many isolated cells here in west central Missouri. They stayed all up northeast and down to the southwest. So we came out very, very lucky today with just some minor reports, very few reports throughout here in west central Missouri. Yeah, yeah. It's pretty concerning from my standpoint when I'm looking at the data and looking at the SKUTs, and it's just shouting at me, 4.5, 5 inch hail possibilities, and it's just like, we don't get that size of hail around here, but like once a decade, and that happened last year. If you guys recall, we had some tennis and baseball size hail here in near Clinton, especially out there toward the Clinton Country Club. They had some baseball size hail that totaled many cars out in that direction. So that's we're very fortunate that we did not have another go around of that today. All right, guys. So listen, I think we are done with the severe threat for the rest of the day. You notice even down here in southern Benton County, we are getting northwest winds now. Cold front has pushed through the area. We can still expect to get some showers, maybe a thunder shower as we go later on this afternoon into evening. But our severe threat here in west central Missouri has now ended. So, I say we are good to go for the rest of the night. I will be giving updates as we go through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday about the possibility of any more severe weather as we go toward the end of the week to the weekend. But until then, especially from the farming perspective, it's great we didn't get torrential rainfall over most of the area tonight. Give us a day to let it dry out underneath beautiful blue sky day tomorrow, and hopefully farmers will have a couple 3 days to be able to get out. I know they're behind on some field work right now, so hopefully they can go out, get a couple days in the fields before our next round comes in late in the week into the weekend. So you bet. Thanks for all the kind words tonight. Thank you guys so much for supporting the room. I noticed there was a lot of super stickers, a lot of super chats during the when we were really kind of paying attention to these cells here in Henry and Bates County. Thank you guys so much for the support in the stream. Very humbling. You guys support the page the way that you do. So, definitely every time you guys watching on Facebook or YouTube, always make sure you hit the like button, because with Facebook and YouTube algorithms, the more likes, the more comments you have on the page, the more apt that, say you live in Osceola, you don't know about Subby's Weather Talk, you get on YouTube, it will automatically suggest my live feed. The more likes you have, the more comments, so make sure you guys like and, of course, follow the page. It doesn't cost nothing. So make sure you guys do that. That helps get the word out, because, the whole reason why we do what we do here at Subby's Weather Talk is to make sure that everybody stays informed, stays protected. Again, on days like today, we had no weather radios. So this is the place you can go to get your warnings, watches, advisories. Big thanks goes out to Radford Media Group and KDKD. They allow me to have more platforms to get warnings and watches out to more people. And, of course, our sponsors, Max Motors, Clayton Hartfeld Home Care, and Family Safe Storm Shelters down in Republic, Missouri. You guys sponsor Storm Track Weather. You guys pay my salary with KDKD and Radford Media Group. I very much appreciate the sponsorship through KDKD and Radford Media Group. So, we're all in this together. The more we can get information out to people, the better off that we will be as a community. Subby's Weather Talk, all the people sharing the photos and reports. I've said it a million times. I can just sit back and let that page run itself because of all the interactions through all the people in our Facebook group. So thank you guys so much. And again, we got lucky today. Absolutely, Cordova. We got lucky today. Hopefully we can keep that streak alive as we go into next weekend. So I'm going to call it a wrap. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Send me a direct message. I'll try to get all those questions that was presented to me earlier tonight. I'll make sure to get all those answered for y'all as well. And everybody enjoy the little bit cooler evening that we have in store both tonight and tomorrow night. So get out and enjoy it while you can. Stay weather aware, everybody. We'll be talking to you soon.